Hello and welcome to the Digestive System Part 3. In this video we will be talking about the pharynx and the liver. So first we're going to be talking about the pharynx. So it's important to understand that when food or water is swallowed, there's a flap called the epiglottis, which is above the glottis, and it serves as a covering for the trachea so that the food or water cannot enter. And if it does enter by accident, the body will start a mechanism of coughing to expel whatever is entered the lungs. So the pharynx is also known as the throat and contains three parts, called the nasopharynx, the oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx. So the nasopharynx is the nose and throat, and this serves as an airway for the body. And then we have the oropharynx, which is between the epiglottis and the soft palate of the mouth, which is just a mouth structure. And this part leads air from the nasopharynx to the laryngopharynx. So you can basically think of the oropharynx as a connector between the two. Then we have the laryngopharynx, which is a pathway for not only air, but also food and water. Next, we're going to be talking about the liver. So the liver is responsible for the storage of nutrients until the body needs it. It also produces bile, which is stored in the gallbladder to break down food. And the liver also aids in the filtering of blood to remove a lot of waste products and chemicals. This is kind of similar to the kidneys and the urinary system, which filters the blood. And it's also important to understand that the liver converts glycogen to glucose, and glycogen is a carbohydrate and glucose is sugar. So a carbohydrate to a sugar. So question 1. Which structure found in the throat helps keep food and water out of the trachea? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If you said the epiglottis, you are correct. So then we have the liver, which is incorrect because obviously the liver is not in the throat, but also it has many other functions that aren't keeping food and water out of the trachea, such as converting glycogen to glucose, filtering blood, and producing bile. Then we have the glottis, which is not the flap, but just another structure that is below the epiglottis, so that wouldn't be correct. Then we have the nasopharynx, which is the pathway of air through the body, which comprises of the nose and throat, so that wouldn't be correct. So the answer is the epiglottis, which is the flap that covers the trachea to keep elements out of the lungs and trachea. Question 2. What substance does the liver produce to help break down food? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If you said C, bile, you are correct. So A is enzymes. So while enzymes do help to break down food, we're looking for a more specific term. So enzymes could mean the pancreatic enzymes, it could mean the stomach enzymes, but we're looking for a specific substance. Then we have blood. This should automatically be a obviously no answer, because blood is not necessarily helping to break down food. Then we have chemicals. This could mean an overarching term. This could mean enzymes, this could mean bile itself, just an overarching term, so that wouldn't be correct. So we're looking for bile, which is stored in the gallbladder and produced by the liver to help break down the food that we eat. Last question. What is another word for the pharynx? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. If you said D, throat, you are correct. So A and B say the oropharynx and the laryngopharynx, which is basically just parts of the pharynx, so that wouldn't be correct. C says larynx, which is the voice box, which helps us to speak or has a function of speech, so that wouldn't be correct. But throat is also another word for pharynx, so D would be correct. Thank you so much for watching, and stay